Hey, everybody. We got a special edition of Two Studs and a Dud, even though we're short one. We'll call him the Dud today.
Yeah, he's not here.
No, he couldn't show up because he decided to have a game of, what's it called when you're going at each other? You know, when two people, and this you swerves first.
Chicken?
A game of chicken against a deer with his car. And, well, I don't know.
Didn't end well for either
Did
one.
not
of them.
end well for either one.
Oof.
But I did ask if he got some meat. Apparently, no meat. And he's getting his car looked at today. But I'll be back shortly, and we're going to get on to our regular programming. But today, we have a special guest. Do I have... Hold on, I might have that. Hey, now.
Was that what you
I could. Well, I was looking for applause. I don't know where that... I think we have it on here somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. So we're going to have to go without it. We got a business owner.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any other adjectives you want me to use?
Esthetician.
Esthetician,
That's
yes.
the important one.
That is the important one. Then we're going to be doing an interview on skincare, what it's about, and how dudes feel about it.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. So why don't you give us a little background? Tell us a little about yourself, who you are, what you do, what the name of your business is. You can leave out the part about how you mooch off your parents' Amazon account, but you can continue with the other stuff.
That's well known anyway.
Oh, it is very well known.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know
Sure.
about it. It's very well
Listen,
known.
you could tell me to stop using it.
Is that what you're saying?
I can't. I'm too nice. I'm too nice. Okay, go on. Tell us about
Okay.
yourself. Who are you?
So I'm Kylie. That is my dad, and this is Art. Actually, fun fact: growing up, they were together so much that they went to all of my elementary school events together, and my school thought that I had two gay dads. So tells you how long they've been in my life.
I didn't really need to have that on there. That was not necessary.
Why it's so funny?
No, it's really funny.
That changes the title of the show quite a bit.
Oh my God. Well, it is Gay Pride Month, so
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
That's right. I thought Nabil wanted to talk about that.
Oh, that's right. We got to save that for Thursday. And you have seriously?
Go.
Well, your phone's making noise. This is a professional operation. All right, and you want to tell us about your business?
Yeah, so I'm a licensed esthetician, and I own Happy Hippie Aesthetics, and I work in a studio out of Consumer Square in New Hartford. So I offer facials, waxing, professional makeup, lash lifts, all of that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, would you say you get a lot of male clientele
Not
in the
really.
business?
It depends. I get a lot of the guys that do come in. It's so funny because they're always like, yeah, my girlfriend got me this appointment. So usually it's a lot of back facials I do for guys.
And why don't you explain what that is? Because I have a different name for it.
So, you have your standard facial with, cleansing, exfoliating, moisturizer serums, all that stuff. It's on your back. It usually is mostly for,
Hold on a second. Go, no, keep going. I'm sorry. Carry on. I don't feel
It's-
right without my hat on.
Oh, wait.
You don't have to wait. Keep going.
Oh, okay. Well, it's for, treating acne. Usually, a lot of the time, it's, targeted things. Some people go in just for, a relaxing massage kind of experience, but that's what most guys get, I think, from me, at least. I do offer men's waxing, though.
Have you gotten many customers for that yet?
Not too many. Honestly, I feel like a lot of dudes can't tolerate the pain
What's that
from
supposed to mean?
waxing.
Men or babies?
This is true.
I think that's the general consensus.
Yeah.
This feels right.
Good hat.
Yeah, I didn't like not having one on. It was making me uncomfortable.
So what percentage? So mostly women then?
Oh my God, yeah.
90% or
Like
more?
95% for sure. Maybe I'll get one guy a month. Maybe.
I come in every now and then.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's probably my most repetitive male customer, but it's also because he gets, all of the special treatments and eye peels and all of that stuff.
Yeah, well, I enjoy them. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's because they work, and I'm good at
They
my
do
job.
work. I think that's one of the contributing factors of how I remain so youthful
Wow.
in appearance. You don't think so?
Do you sell many products?
Yeah, for sure. I work, well, I am my own business, but I use Dermalogica products, which is a pretty huge skincare company. They're based in Australia. That's where they started. But they're really, really good with like scientific, actual like information and stats and stuff in their products. So they're only using things that have like scientific and clinical.
So they've been
good
tested,
results.
you're saying?
They're what?
So they've been tested?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Actually, it's really cool. Like as a consumer, like you could go on their website and look up a product and you have access to like clinical studies of real people to see like actual befores and afters to know if it's worth it or not. But the products are really, really good. So I do sell them. They're pretty expensive though. So I'm not offended if somebody is like, no, that's a little too much.
But you pay for quality.
Oh my God, absolutely. Yeah. I love Dermalogica. That obviously that's why I use them. However, like I do pay I feel like a lot more than a lot of my friends in the business because I know their products work really well and I don't want to ever do a service that is like, can I swear? I would say half-assed.
Wow.
I don't know.
We try not to use cuss words.
Oh, okay.
Your father does most of the swearing on the show.
That makes
though.
sense.
Well, I try to refrain from that because my mother and your grandmother watches us quite often.
Both of them?
Grandma sent me an F-bomb the other day.
Wow.
For real. Yeah.
You think Jesus knows about this?
Oh, probably.
Oh my God.
He knows everything.
He should, right?
Yeah, I would think so. That's I don't know what to say about that.
Well, anyway, yeah, all that to say, I use really good quality products, although the price is a little bit more expensive. I want to make sure that if somebody's paying me for a service, they actually get what they're paying for out of it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You should probably go get a facial at some point in time. Well, you were just telling me about guys using Preparation H
Under their eyes.
to get rid of puffiness.
You ever hear of that?
Yeah, once. I didn't know it was relevant enough for like you guys to know about it, but that's awful.
I've just seen it in movies and stuff.
Yeah. Don't do that. That's really bad for your skin.
Well, now they market, there are products marketed for men for the under eye bags and stuff.
Yeah.
Just recently, I've been seeing commercials for that.
It's really funny because like, you know how, have you ever heard of like the pink tax? So like a men's razor is $5, but it's pink for women, so it's like 20.
Oh,
I've
no,
heard
I
that.
never heard
You
that.
ever heard of that term?
Yeah.
I've heard that term before.
Yeah, the pink tax.
Yeah.
So I feel like lately they've been doing the same thing with like men's skincare, which is silly to me because like if you have skin, then you can use skincare. Like I don't really think there's a gender to it.
So you mean the product for men is cheaper than the same product for women in that?
No, so like how there is a pink tax for like razors for women, I think that they're starting to do that for men's skincare. So like instead of going and just getting like a CeraVe cleanser for like $6, they have men's manly, masculine, mountain water, coal
Oh, I'd buy
like
that.
cleanser
That sounds like something
for
I would buy.
like $25.
You would buy that.
Yeah, you got to see my soap collection.
Yeah,
Dr.
Dr.
Squatch.
Squatch.
Dr. Squatch and Duke Cannon.
Yeah, Duke Cannon is one of the companies that I feel like is profiting off of like men's skincare, but like our skin is like the same. So it's
Sometimes I get deals. I wait for after the holidays, and then I buy the previous holiday scents on clearance.
wow.
Yeah, it's thrifty.
The steal.
You're very thrifty.
Thank you. I try to be, you know. So,
What?
I don't know.
What else you got?
I'm the one being interviewed
This
here.
is true. Now, this is our first interview ever.
I told him, to be fair, to like write down questions to have ready.
We
and he
we
said
like to
no
wing
like
it.
4 times.
I wasn't told
We like
this.
to, well, we like to wing it. We like to keep it,
Should have let me know.
as they say in the street, we keep it real on this podcast. We don't like to write stuff down. We kind of, whatever flows. Whatever happens, happens.
I would have written down stuff.
I figured, yeah.
Really, would you have?
Yeah, I would have written a couple of questions.
I've been interviewed a few times before.
Who have you been interviewed by?
Like State Farm over in Utica most recently.
They interviewed you at State Farm in Utica? Or did they come to your...
They came to my studio.
Huh.
They do like a Where's Jake on Wednesdays. And it was a cardboard cutout of Jake.
How
But
come I didn't watch this? I saw a picture,
it's
I
on
think.
Facebook, yeah. It wasn't a video interview,
Oh.
but
Well, I just saw a show on last night on HBO, But they were talking about med spas.
Med spas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have any of that kind of stuff around here?
Yeah, like in New Hartford, there's Chapter, which I think is probably the most common one that like most people would know about. So
Do you do anything that goes toward that semi-medical type procedures? Like you don't do injections or anything, do you?
no, you have to have a medical license to do like actual like injections and stuff,
don't?
which I do not have.
That's what this whole show was about. You don't need anything like
Is
that.
that state by state though,
Yeah,
or
like
is it different?
it does depend. Like
Well,
even
he's in New York City, so I would assume that the things he's talking about have something to do with New York State. But
Yeah.
the whole point of his thing was about how the lack of regulation on those med spas.
oh yeah, so that's really
And the lack of medical supervision in most of them.
yeah, it can get really scary because even like with my license, I'm licensed by New York State, so I went to school. I got my 800 hours. I took the state board, so I'm like licensed. A lot of the stuff that I offer, I went and got like certified in or like dually certified in. That's not required for most services. I know that like the standards are different for an actual like med spa because they're using like injectables and lasers, and I offer like chemical peels, but their chemical peels like make you shed your entire face basically.
Who would do that?
So the most intense ones are called phenol peels, and you can't put any pictures here because it'll for sure get flagged. But if you look up a
I
phenol,
don't know. I feel like I'm gonna throw some pictures in.
Well, and they had a
in the
whole
editing process.
salmon sperm injections.
Oh God. Okay.
yeah,
Jennifer Aniston and
Kim
Kim
Kardashian is a
Kardashian,
big
they had
one.
pictures of them getting this.
So where do they inject these?
All their whole face.
serums?
so
Multiple, like probably 20, 30 different shots all around their face.
it can either be injected under the skin, but I think most common is application through something called microneedling.
Yes.
So it'll be like a pen with like, they come in different gauges, but usually like 20 to 50 to even 100 little tiny
in that?
needles.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
And it'll be like in a pen with has the serum, and it's kind of pushing it under those first layers of skin. That's also something I cannot do. So the difference between me as a regular esthetician and then a medical one is I'm only allowed to work in the epidermis, which is your top layer of skin. You have 3 layers of skin:
What are they called?
the epidermis, subcutaneous, and the cutaneous layer. Yeah, but
Alright.
like
I mean, you say that, and we have no idea. So we're
That-
like,
yeah,
That's better than some nurses that we've
Subcutaneous
asked questions
oh,
of,
we
so
have asked
that's-
nurses
that was
some
pretty
medical
good.
questions, and they did not know the answer to them.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's like what the bottom layer is called. I think it's cutaneous. That would make sense to me if you have a subcutaneous. Anyways, but I'm only allowed to work in that top layer.
So as far as what you can do in that top layer, you can't do injections at all.
No, you have to be
Even
a
if it's only
registered
in the top
nurse.
layer?
Yeah, well, you wouldn't really ever put an injection in the top layer.
So these injections that they do use, what is the purpose? Is it supposed to get rid of wrinkles and
Think
I don't
like
know, loosen your muscles or loosen the skin or
like
something?
Botox.
Botox.
That's what would be an injectable. There's Kybella is a really popular one right now, which is an injection that sort of dissolves fat. So like liposuction instead of actually getting lipo.
interesting.
So it's like the freezing type?
That's
is that
cool
what the-
sculpting.
Yeah.
So they're like those are kind of in the same field, but like Kybella's an injection and cool sculpting is like a machine that they kind of like attach and freeze your fat cells and they'll kind of melt off. It's a little gimmicky. Like
Yeah,
It's
it
very
sounds a little
gimmicky. It sounds like a
Yeah.
thigh master kind of gimmicky.
I don't know what that is.
How many of them did you own?
Was that Susan Summers that did that?
Suzanne.
Suzanne Summers?
Yep.
She got me. She got me back.
You
in
got
the
a lot
day.
of people.
But anyway, these injections,
Yep.
do they actually melt the fat?
Kybella, since I've never gotten anything injected personally, so I guess I can't say from experience. I've heard very mixed results though. A lot of people say Kybella is good for like your under your chin area, any fat here, because it's not so super. Stop it, that's mean.
What do you do? Oh,
Nothing. I was just
that
looking.
just seems like something where if you got it done, you would want it to be working. So
Right.
you'd be like, oh, yeah, it did. That's really good. Even
Yeah.
if it's not very much.
Well, I think most often what people say is that it will start to work and then it just doesn't either get to where they want it to be or it doesn't last very long. And a lot of like med spas and stuff, they get you because, I mean, everybody knows, but like the way to like keep fat loss is through diet and exercise and lifestyle choices.
That seems like a lot of work.
Well, right.
Right?
And
Yeah,
that's
that sounds crazy. Yeah, there's no way.
yeah. Well, that's usually what happens. So people will go and pay thousands of dollars for this stuff and it'll look great, but they're not changing any of their lifestyle habits. So like it just comes
So
back.
when it melts, where does it go?
So you kind of like
Probably absorbed by the body, I would assume.
it goes through
See,
your
forget when you assume.
Well,
Oh God, this is gonna be gross.
no.
Oh, okay.
It gets filtered through your kidneys, like
Oh.
all toxins in your liver and
So
that sort of
absorb-
stuff, and then you pee it out. Basically,
Now,
doesn't look any different from like regular pee.
so
but
can you use that injections anywhere?
Yeah, you can, but like that's what I'm so like people on their mostly use on their face. People will also use it like on their stomach, but since it's such a large area, you need at least like 12 ampules, I think, for like just a general stomach. But there's so much more there that it's like usually not really worth it.
It sounds like you should earn it instead of getting it the easy way. That's all I'm saying.
I feel like that's for most things. Even like for like simple stuff that I can do, like an acne facial, I always tell my clients, I'm like, you know, you have to. I approach skincare, I think, more holistically. It's more than just me putting products on your face. So, like, if you have really bad cystic acne, then we don't just kind of do a treatment. We kind of reflect on everything else in your life, like your diet. If you're really sweaty, like, because sweat can contribute to that sort of stuff. But if you're eating, like, a lot of dairy is really, really bad for acne and eczema, actually. Like, most people cannot tolerate dairy very well.
Did you know that?
because of like an allergic reaction type
Kind
thing
of,
to it?
yeah. Even for myself, I have pretty severe eczema, and I was told like by a dermatologist when I was like 11 to like never drink regular cow's milk again, and I haven't, not straight up anyway.
That's all I drink. Cows. I tried other varieties of milk.
Is that what's in that?
That's
Cow's milk?
that's Italian sweet cream. Now the soup probably came from a cow.
So then it's not all you drink.
Well, I think that is dairy, right?
No.
Yes,
It's
Cream
probably
is-
non-dairy creamer.
It's not non-dairy creamer. I'm pretty sure it's dairy.
that
creamer.
one's.
What is
dairy
it? What is yours?
Italian sweet cream.
From what brand?
I have no idea.
Coffee mate.
Look it up. That
Yes,
sounds right.
That does
Yeah,
sound right.
actually, you know what's funny? I think a lot of coffee mates they will say like non-dairy, but there's still lactose in it.
Right.
So
I'm just trying to.
He likes to debunk whatever I
Yeah.
say. He got me one time. You said something about the cats that poop out coffee beans or whatever.
Civet cats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I thought you were making that up, so I looked it up.
That wasn't getting you. You were trying to get me there.
Well, yeah, but usually I get you.
Yeah.
That was
No,
the one time you nailed it. And it was
don't
very,
they do that with like birds too?
I thought they did with bats. Guano or... No, we're getting way off. This is what happens on the podcast.
Yeah.
We get way off topic. All right, now I was just on vacation. We're going to be discussing that in a future podcast. Probably not today because I know Nabil wants to get in on that action. And I got some stuff to say about Europe. Yeah, just a little forewarning.
Oops.
But I did get suckered into laying out on a deck, and I got sunburned. And I messaged my daughter about it, and she didn't give me the sympathy that I thought I would get. I got chastised
Yeah.
for apparently
using
not putting
sunblock?
sunblock on. Well, I thought I had enough on.
Were you talking about on your vacation?
Yes.
So was the sun just more powerful than?
It felt like it was more powerful than in this area.
Well, you were closer to the equator, correct?
Yeah. Actually, I
Okay.
might have been a little below it at some point.
But like closer than New York.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there was actual sun, unlike New York, where it's clouds.
Yeah, but that
constantly.
so when people get
There's
sunburned,
still sun, you just can't see it.
yeah, it's
Well, there's
not.
always sun.
Well,
Exactly.
when people say like avoid the sunlight, whatever, it's not that. Like you get sunburns through the invisible ultraviolet rays. The sunshine does not sunburn you.
Right, so you can get sunburned easier on a cloudy day a lot of times because you don't realize
Yep.
how much exposure you're
It's
getting.
not as hot.
Right.
Plus, it's not
Right,
as hot.
you're
out
not-
there.
you're
Yeah,
not
well,
paying
I was
attention.
dying in the sun on this
Yeah.
vacation.
Well, this is also something
hot.
I feel like a lot of people don't know, but for the sunscreen, you know how it says like SPF 35 or 40, whatever. That number does not equate to like amount of coverage. So SPF 30 is telling you this sunscreen will give you this much protection for 35 minutes. After 35 minutes, it goes down.
Seriously.
Yeah. So when people are like, oh, well, SPF 50 is like so much better, so much more coverage, it's not true because the difference between like SPF 35, like SPF 35 blocks out 95% of UV rays, SPF 50 blocks out 98. So it's that number.
But does it last longer then? Is it 50 minutes?
50, yeah.
Is that what the number means?
So
how
the
long it lasts?
that's like
Right.
for the number of minutes, basically?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have to
So-
reapply it every 50 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm really annoying at the beach. Like my friends don't like going with me because I set a timer on my watch.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Right.
guys, time to reapply.
She's just annoying at the beach.
I always tell them you're gonna thank me because you're gonna have great looking skin when you're like 60.
So how long have you been open now?
This is my 3rd year.
Oh. Clients building steadily?
Oh yeah, like I feel like it's very common for my industry. Usually, people say it usually takes 3 to 5 years to get a regular clientele.
That's very similar to when you're an influencer. It takes that long to get that many people following you.
I know this is our first interview, but you probably should let them talk.
Oh, sorry,
and
go
then
Yeah, it's-
wait till they're
What's
done.
our first interview? We're feeling it out. We're seeing how it goes. We're getting comfortable, I think, now.
It's a little rough.
Hey, now.
Okay.
Anyway,
So
sorry. Go
3 to
ahead,
5 years to build
3 to 5 years to build
steady
up your-
clientele.
Steady, yeah. So like definitely I saw the most from like my first to my 2nd year. My first year I only did I think like 63 facials total
for the whole year.
for the whole year. And my 2nd
Were
year
3 or 4 of them mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
so
sense.
like friends and
That makes
family and
sense.
stuff, so it probably is even less than that.
Again, she's trying to
That's
talk.
part. That was a question. Were 3 or 4
You're
of
not
them
letting her
mine?
answer the
Question mark.
previous question.
That was in relation to what you was saying. You have a bad attitude right now. I miss Nabil.
I'm missing the beat.
Nabil, you can't be abandoning us like this. I'm sorry, Kylie. Go ahead.
Well, I just jumped from it was like 63 or so, again including friends and family and stuff, so like some of those I probably wouldn't even count as like a facial.
Right.
But my 2nd year I did 270
Oh.
total.
3 times as much.
Yeah, and then like that's not including like the waxing and lash lifts and makeup applications and that sort of stuff too. So it takes a while to build, and even now my schedule is more regular, like regular enough that I don't need to have a second job anymore, but it still is all over the place. Like I'll have a block in the morning for like 4 hours and then nothing for 2 hours, and then like
And in that 2 hours, do you ever like call anybody and make them buy you lunch so you have something to do?
all the time. And I ask my dad to please come pick me up to bring me and get coffee.
And does he
Smart.
do it? Yes, he does.
Most of the time.
Some other times, usually.
So all your stuff is scheduled? Can people walk in?
If I mean they can.
It's not really.
I mean, like I've had very occasionally somebody come in for like a wax, like a brow wax or something.
Just a walk-in?
Very
That's what I'm asking.
occasionally.
I was going to say that'd be very difficult because of the schedule you do keep.
Well, it's also like you have to imagine somebody just walking around and being like, "Oh, I have nothing to do for an hour and a half or like an hour. I'm gonna go get my face washed." Like
That's how Art walks around all day long. I have nothing to do at all. So only message Steve 65
I
times.
should start washing my face more.
Well, you did a video a while back showing what your skincare in the morning routine was.
Yep.
I did do a response video to that. That was very well received. Typically, I don't think dudes do the routine that is necessary for them to maintain proper skincare throughout their life.
Well, because like society a lot of the time deems hygiene as feminine, which is
I could see
really stupid, by the way. Like it's like Colin, my boyfriend Colin was just telling me, he's like, he's an engineer.
that. Wait,
So
is Colin subscribed?
Colin is not.
He better be subscribed to this channel.
I don't think.
Especially if we're going to name drop him.
Welcome to the podcast, Colin.
Better be
Well,
subscribed.
he was one of the
We'll
first.
have to subscribe now.
I know he was one of the first to follow you on Instagram. I think.
Ah, Insta.
Yeah,
That's what we call that in the biz.
the biz.
Influencing biz.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. Anyway, proceed. I'm sorry.
But
Are you? Because you keep doing it.
I know.
Can't help it. I can't keep my mouth shut. This is the kind of stuff that gets me in trouble. And why I get kicked off Facebook all the time.
that sounds like a you problem. I tell them all the time. I'm like, is what you're gonna say like change their mind? No.
But then you did the
No,
follow-up
that's
question.
what I tell them all the time.
The
You're not
follow-up
changing
question
any
should be,
minds.
does it make you feel better? And yes, it does. It makes them like, I do this. Oh, I type it out.
Okay, I
And I
believe
get
you
super
doing
happy.
exactly
Usually
that.
in the bathroom. Well, that's when I do my best talking. So anyway, back to...
So how is his skincare routine? Do you influence him?
It could be a little better.
Has he changed though?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, well, actually, Colin and I have known each other for a very long time. So I remember, like, in early high school, helping him pick out different skincare products to use. But
Was he around when people thought we were your parents?
no,
Actually, we are... If you must have helped me coach.
you did. You were his coach.
We
at one
coached
point.
him one year.
For
I didn't
baseball.
realize
T-ball?
that. No, minor
Minor-
A, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
It went through the pictures,
Oh, I
and I'm
didn't
like,
know
oh,
that.
there's Colin.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that was funny.
Only for that one
season.
But yes, we did play together in
Yeah.
elementary school.
That's pretty funny.
I do remember he had good skin.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's how he maintains it now. But you would say that he is not where you would like him to be.
I guess.
Now, be
Well,
real with it. Our audience likes real.
Okay.
Does he have to be where you want him to be?
No, he doesn't. It's his skin and it's his choice or whatever, but he'll be sometimes complaining about like acne or something. I'm like, oh, gee, it's almost like you have like so many resources in this person that like was trained in skincare and has given you all the products to fix this. But
And you chose not to.
yeah.
Actually, I have a product that she gave me to help with dark circles under your eyes.
Yeah, but it's a phyto oxygen lifting
Is
eye
it
cream.
Preparation H?
No.
I would never.
I'm kidding.
Wow.
so
you're gonna
nasty.
piss her off.
It's the same reaction as when I see a guy still using like a 3-in-1 body wash, conditioner, shampoo. Disgusting. Stop it.
I had a situation.
That's
this
what I
morning
use
along
because you
those
gave
lines.
me a box of,
The Suave.
yeah, all that stuff.
Well, I forgot to bring shampoo to the gym this morning. So I had to use whatever was in the wall dispenser at Planet Fit. I don't even know what it was.
Oh my
But it was
God.
either that or don't use anything. I had my bar of soap, Dr. Squatch. It was the Halo edition, Aces.
Does
It
smell
was
good?
exfoliating. Like, very exfoliating. It's got little lumps and stuff in it. Hard lumps.
Like pumice.
Yeah, something
So
like that. Yeah.
actually most exfoliants like that and soap and stuff are pretty bad for your skin. Chemical exfoliants are really good. That includes AHAs and BHAs, which are lactic acid, salicylic acids. It's basically taking this acid and it's eating away at your dead skin instead of physically scrubbing it off.
So you're using sandpaper on yours.
Well, yeah. Well, my skin's tough.
Well,
you
the
know what I mean?
problem is
Squatch.
Squatch.
the exfoliants like that, not all companies, not every product like that, but a lot of them cause micro tears in your skin because it's too aggressive.
I'm an aggressive person in life. So I like to get my soap on
That's
the
what I am
same-
too.
on
I
the
know
same
I
page.
don't do a good job, but I scrub my face. I know I'm thinking they.
Now, do you
They
ever
would
use,
never say
Do you
to-
ever use any products other than soap on your face? Do you use any like lotions or serums or anything?
No, nothing.
Me neither. I usually splash a little water, and once in a while I use soap. And
Once
that's not
in a
even
while?
yeah, and that's not even every day.
Well, and I use the 3-in-1 stuff that you're saying is terrible, but
We need a lot of help, obviously. So what would a good morning routine
That's true,
look
yeah, so
like
what-
for somebody just jumping in, trying to do better on their skincare routine?
something simple.
Yeah,
Like,
like
what would be the first
your very
easy
most
step to
basic.
take? Yeah.
Yes.
So what every single person should be doing in the morning is
Only
cleanse.
single people?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
You're busting my chops.
I don't get to see Kylie very often.
It's true. It's true.
But you need to cleanse your face, moisturize, and sunscreen SPF. That's
So
I don't do any
sunscreen
of those
every day?
things.
every day.
What if you wear a baseball hat like I do?
Or what if you just slightly burn yourself several times till you get a base coat going?
Some type of like protective layer.
Yeah, that's what I usually go red
Yeah.
and
Get
then
red.
slightly darker white than I am at the beginning of the spring.
So
You're Egypt brown right now.
Which we'll talk about soon.
any sort of tan, even like let's say you go out and you don't get actually sunburned, but you still get like a tan,
I try not to burn.
that is still
Look at your head.
sun damage because your skin does not want to guard itself
Oh.
from the sun. A
So
tan,
even a nice tan when people are thinking it's healthy. I mean,
absolutely.
people like the look of a tan.
People, yeah, and that's like honestly something maybe it's just my generation thing. I've never understood. Like I've never looked at somebody and been like, wow, that person is so beautiful because they're tan. Like I have
Oh, they used to
never
think
had
when
that
I was younger,
thought.
that was huge.
I know.
When you were younger, it must have been even huger.
I don't know. I never cared about it either way, but
Yeah, but
People used to use butter and like baby
yes,
oil. on their
baby
skin.
oil.
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, mom tells me that she used to do that in like Crisco and like
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
And now you're an esthetician.
It's no, but like her skin, I would say, I'm like so shocked her skin is as good as it is. Like from everything she's told me and how much she's tanned, like it should not be in that good of shape.
Yeah, her pictures on your vacation should look good.
Yeah, she had a good. Well, that's because she follows a more rigorous skincare routine.
So now,
Yeah.
what are the things we should be using to do what you're saying?
What kind of products?
Yeah, I don't know what
You
to
say
use.
moisturize and wash. What do you wash with just soap?
So, a specific facial cleanser. It doesn't have to be fancy. Some people do use like a bar of soap. I generally don't, but like
That dries your skin out, right?
it can't like depending on what's in it. But usually, stuff made for your body is like stronger or more astringent than stuff because your skin on your face is different from the skin on the rest of your body. It's
you-
I
thinner.
don't
know
think
this?
mine is. I think it's the same.
It does look.
Right?
Well, I see a lot more of your skin than on most people.
So, any kind of soap then.
Like for beginners, CeraVe is usually what I'll recommend.
It's not pronounced CeraVe.
I think it can go either way. I used to say CeraVe, but then I got corrected.
Can I say CeraVe
I mean, if you want to.
or CeraVe?
I think you should do that at the store.
Could it be a hard C?
I mean, maybe.
CeraVe.
I don't know if they really
That sounds
care
fancier.
that much.
It sounds Middle Eastern. You want some CeraVe?
Oh my god.
All right, and then what happens after this? You wash. So use CeraVe or CeraVe on your face.
Something just like a general facial cleanser. I am a Neutrogena hater, which I know is controversial. I do not like Neutrogena,
Sounds pretty controversial.
although that's
That's a brand.
yeah. So a lot of people really like it. They're called drugstore brands. Where like if you bought from me, Dermalogica would be considered like luxury skincare.
I'm into luxury.
But like you have to be like, really serious about skincare to usually buy that sort of stuff. Or at least the serums and stuff. I mean, cleansers are pretty basic, but
Get that?
So any kind of moisturizer then is better than no moisturizer?
yes, because so skin is hydrated through oil, not water. So all moisturizers have at least a little bit of oil in them to get them to
So
actually
that's
sink
to
in.
make like a barrier so that you're not losing the moisture through your skin? Is that what it is?
Kind of. So, so if you imagine like you have your layer of skin, you have a very thin layer of water, and then a layer of oil above that, and that's your barrier. So sometimes when you don't use a moisturizer, you're not getting enough oil, so there's gaps in that layer of oil at the top, and that water can't stay in, so it's evaporating off of your skin.
Would you say this is like the ozone layer for the Earth?
Yeah, sure. Okay,
No?
that
Okay.
that kind of maybe would make sense.
That was deep.
Is that making you happy?
A little. Oh my god! I got one in there. All right, good.
Yeah, good one.
No, but like that water evaporates, and that causes something called transepidermal water loss, and that leads to barrier function. So your skin won't be functioning as good as it probably should be if it's not properly hydrated.
So after the hydration phase, you put sunblock on.
Yes.
So you wash it with soap.
Yep.
It's okay. Mm-hmm. That's taking the oil off your face, right?
Well-
when you're doing that. I mean, you're cleaning it and
Yeah.
you're taking the dirt and stuff off.
Some of it, yeah. So ideally, you should still have some residual oil left over. You don't want to completely strip your skin of oil.
Aren't you not supposed to like scrub real hard too or something? Because I kind of
Yeah.
take a washcloth and really scrub my face, and that's bad.
Well, yeah. So like the same with when he was talking about the exfoliant
Yeah.
soap, like a washcloth scrubbing, like your skin is more delicate on your face than the rest of your body, your skin and your neck.
Well, I'm trying to toughen it up. That's why I'm scrubbing it as
well, you
hard
scrub
as I
it,
can.
yeah,
I've been
beat the
doing it
hell out
for
of that
60
thing.
something years. It's getting pretty tough. No?
No, looks good. Looks good. You've been doing great.
So, no, I know I should be doing different. That's what I'm asking. So,
I usually, you like get the soap in your hands and wash it in. You can like pat it off with a washcloth, or like I have,
or just running water in your hands and stuff.
yeah, that could work too, as long as it's not hot water. Hot water is also bad for your skin. like really hot water. Warm water is
I
fine.
like hot water too.
I know. Well, that's a lot of my clients who have acne, like acne on their back. My very first question always is like, do you take really hot showers?
I do, too.
9 times out of 10, it's yes.
Yeah.
So that's damaging the skin on your back because
Yeah.
most of your shoulders get the brunt of most
Right.
of that
Yep.
hot water.
That hot water is stripping your skin of all of its oil, which, as I said, that is not good because then your skin needs hydration.
And hot
makes
water
sense.
kind of
Strips
dehydrates
it.
you,
Yep,
right? So,
so
is it because
it's-
it's taking the oil off?
Right. So it's bad for both oily skin and dry skin because dry skin already is underproducing oil. So you're kind of like just hurting the barrier because it's so hot. So your skin is going to continue to dry out. But for people who have very oily skin, what's going to happen is it's stripping the oil off and then their body goes like,
Into
oh,
overdrive.
Yeah. It's like, oh, we actually don't have enough oil. Let me keep producing more. So then it's like kind of this continuous cycle that's hard to break.
And you can't see your back very well.
I guess not.
Well,
If you really wanted to.
But like acne and stuff on your back, I've never had acne, but it's like I've heard it's painful and it looks painful. It can get like the follicles can get infected and stuff, and like it's not fun to deal with.
Sounds horrible to deal with. Now, you just recently did a video reviewing another company's aesthetics program.
I did, yes, yep.
That's on what we call Insta, right?
It is on Insta.
Insta.
You
what do
can
you call it?
That's it, yeah.
you
obviously.
can follow
What the
me.
kids are calling
Oh,
it?
wait. Well, yeah, let's get that out of there.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
don't you
gonna
tell everybody what your little...
Plug myself. It's on Instagram and Facebook at Happy Hippie by Kai. I'm definitely way more active on Instagram than I am on Facebook.
KY.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy Hippie by Kai.
Yep.
Huh. We only have like 5 Instagram posts.
I think I have like close to 300, probably.
Oh, ours are just stupid pictures too. Like when we won trivia at one time.
Yep.
And
That
then
was a big day.
And
Big
well,
night.
it was huge. It was the first victory of the year for us,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. So was it uncomfortable when you went to go to have another esthetician do the things that you do yourself?
Not uncomfortable. I would say I'm definitely a lot more critical, I guess. I obviously have a higher standard because I know the general basis of like what should be done and what shouldn't be. So it did stress me out a little bit because I wasn't in control. But the esthetician that I got, she did really, really good. Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name is Rebecca.
Rebecca.
I went to Scana
Which is at
at
the
Turning
Turning Stone
Stone.
Casino.
So that's a Forbes approved spa. Like Turning Stone is massive. People fly in from all over to come to Turning Stone. So that is a very, very highly rated spa. So I went in being like, because it's obviously, since it's so highly rated, it's very expensive. So I wanted to go in and see like, as somebody who's obsessed with skincare and stuff, would this experience be worth what the cost was?
And
No. No.
Oh my.
that was a good one.
That was appropriate.
Yeah, no.
So
it's,
you mean like, say, coming to you, they would get just as good or better treatment
Yeah,
for
so-
much less price?
there's like definitely things to consider too. Like when you go to Scana, you're not only paying for this service, but you're paying for like the experience of
That's
Scana.
like a whole spa
It's
day.
a whole spa. You get like, so you can come an hour before your appointment, and they have a steam room. There's a sauna. There's this thing that it's called the whirlpool, but it's basically like a really, really big hot tub with like crazy intense jets, and a mineral pool,
Oh.
which is like a little tiny shallow swimming pool. So you get to experience and go to all of those. And then they say after your treatment, you can stay as long as you want and like go back to those things. But if you're into skincare, like if I go get a facial and it's, that's really nice, whatever, they finish with like moisturizers and stuff, I'm not going back into a swimming pool
Right.
after.
Plus, wouldn't all the
Right.
chemicals, wouldn't everything they used on your face get into the water in the pools?
Right. Yeah. So that's not good. I mean, I don't think like everything there is pretty all natural. So I don't know if there's like chlorine or anything. There's got to be a little bit.
I would think
kill
just to keep it clean.
germs
yeah,
and
kill
stuff.
any
But like
germs.
even because they mostly do massages is what you would go there for.
I just had a massage done.
There.
Fun fact, no, out in Greece.
Oh wow.
I got brutalized.
Yeah.
We'll talk
You
about
asked
that.
for it.
We'll talk about that. That's forthcoming as well.
But this facial, like the whole, like the first time I went into Scana was with mom. I had gotten a gift card for my 18th birthday. And like you walk down there and my very first thought was like, oh, I'm like way too poor to be here. Like it gives the vibe of like,
That was
luxury.
before
Very
you
snooty.
went to esthetician school.
Yeah, I was still in college at that point.
So what'd you think of it at that point then?
I mean, it's
because
still-
you hadn't gone through
yeah.
your training.
So to preface, like this was my first and only facial I've ever gotten there. I've only gone there like 3 times, but it was always with like a massage, which
Right.
I still am of the opinion that massages are worth it there to have like the entire day. But I guess the facial that I got, I don't really think it equated to the price. that
So
I had
basically,
to
what
pay.
you're saying is, if you just want a facial, it's kind of a waste of money going to a place like that. You're there for the experience plus the
Yes.
facial plus a
Yeah.
massage
The whole spa
to make a whole spa
experience.
day.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also that facial. So I got their very most basic standard facial, which usually would include like a cleanse, a mild exfoliator. So that's removing the dead skin and stuff. A mask of some sort that's usually targeted towards acne, dry skin, rosacea, whatever. And then moisturizer and SPF. So that's like your very most basic standard facial.
Right.
It was $155 for 50 minutes. So it wasn't even a full hour.
Jeez. That's a lot.
Yeah. And it's like I said, and this is nothing against like the esthetician that I had because she did exactly what she was supposed to do. Like the physical performance of the service was really good. She did extractions, which is like it's like pimple popping, I guess is the best way to say that. But like I didn't have any pimples, but she still
gross.
got there's these things called like sebaceous filaments, which everybody has.
When they
It's
do that
what's in
thing on your
pores and
nose.
stuff.
I got to be honest. I'm impressed by your knowledge of the terminology of this industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because half the stuff you're talking about, I'm nodding and I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm very like I love skin science and I like learning how skin works. So I'm inclined to like learn actual functions and what like, product chemistry does and how your skin reacts to that sort of stuff.
What did you ever think about maybe making your own skincare products and marketing them?
I've thought about it, but it's to me like the market is so saturated right now.
Swag my hand.
Okay.
No.
The market is really saturated. So, I mean, skincare currently is very trendy. It has been for about, I would say, like the past 5 to 10 years or so. People are starting to get really serious about at-home skincare. So, to me, I don't have a desire to, at least currently, to create my own products because there are some that work really well.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Boy.
My sister worries about like cancer and stuff being caused by the different hygiene products like deodorants and stuff.
Sure.
Do you have any opinion on any of that?
Yeah, so there is a ton of fear mongering when it comes to pretty much anything in the beauty industry, but in everything ever, right? Like people were freaking about a hairspray causing cancer and like the.
Well, I mean, she worries about it. I mean, just like soaps and deodorants
so-
and things even.
So a lot of the time I'll hear, like, especially if I'm working with a first time client, they'll be like, I'm all natural. I only want natural things. I don't want any chemicals. And then I'll be like, everything is a chemical. Everything has a chemical makeup. And this is one that usually gets my clients. I'm like, when you see all natural on the bottle, it doesn't mean anything.
Exactly.
It's a marketing term.
Marketing term, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. And typically, at least what I've seen, like, because I would call myself a more holistic esthetician, but I'm not afraid of like the scientific backed evidence. So those products that are marketed as all natural just means that they usually have less preservatives. in
Anything
them.
can be found in nature. I mean, not anything,
Yeah.
but a lot of things just because it's found in nature doesn't mean it's necessarily good for you either. Right?
Exactly.
But it's natural.
Yeah, so some of those all natural products, they have lesser preservatives, which means that, well, one, like the price skyrockets. It has a maybe month and then you have to throw it away, like expiration date. But like a lot of people will say like the fewer ingredients, the better. But a lot of the filler ingredients are for like client comfort. So like a lot of these all natural products can be like really oily and feel really greasy feeling, but that's just because they don't have like those fillers that would sort of give it a texturally nice experience.
So you wouldn't give any credence to any of this stuff as far as
Oh my God, no.
worrying about anything with.
No, honestly, like I said, and this we learned in school. They're like, when you see all natural or natural, it literally means nothing. It's not even, and this is the problem, it's not regulated anywhere. So like you can say anything is all natural and nobody can, like the state can't be like, actually you're lying. Like they don't know because
Right.
it doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
That makes sense. Do you buy a lot of all natural products? No, neither do I. Even though the deodorant I buy doesn't have.
I'm always telling you things
silver.
like that. Like with a lot of times, every industry will try to use words that just trigger people,
Yep.
like organic, which
Yeah.
in a lot of instances means nothing. Also,
Oh yeah, and that's what I have. There's a client of mine that really is. We call them like woo woo clients. They're like little woo woo, you know. No, you're not. Okay, maybe that's a Gen Z term. Sorry.
it's probably you.
It's like
You say that about me?
no.
He's woo-woo.
Think like crystal ladies.
Oh,
That's
Oh.
woo woo, like all natural, hyper,
Witches.
whatever. Yeah,
witches
sure.
be crazy. Always said that.
But
They say that on Supernatural too.
Witches be crazy. Did they say that on that?
No, they did.
I thought I made that up.
yeah,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah, that all natural stuff. It doesn't
It's
mean
gimmicky.
anything. It is.
Well, didn't you go to
gimmicky.
like a witch fest at one point in time?
Witch Fest.
Whatever how it was called.
Last year got invited to Freya Fest in Remsen, and it is I called it the woo woo event. So you have a lot of these naturopathic kind of people coming up, and I had so many people come up to my table and be like, "Oh, I don't even use sunscreen because it's not natural." And that's what I hear the most is like, "I'm not going to use sunscreen because well, our ancestors lived in the sun and their skin was fine." And I'm like, our ancestors lived to 20 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
They
yeah.
didn't make it very long.
I'm like, yeah. So, and that's another thing I hear a lot too. It's like, well, our ancestors didn't do that, so why would I put it on? I'm like, did you not get vaccines?
And do you
Have you
use-
not gone to the
right.
doctor?
Do you use the telephone and light bulbs?
Yeah.
And,
So
Light bulbs.
well, I'm just saying,
the point is kind of moot. It's like, yeah.
people are stupid.
People are generally pretty stupid.
I would not say stupid. I would say uneducated is the word I would
you
use.
can do the PC term, but they're
I just mean
stupid.
generally people are stupid.
Yeah,
Well,
in general.
you have to think like, what is one thing that all people have in common? It's like anxiety about things. Everybody has a little bit of anxiety about something.
I had a little anxiety about our first interview.
Wow. See,
Were you anxious?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't know. I've never done this
It
before.
didn't show. You're so professional.
Wow.
Stop it. How you doing?
Oh my God, ew.
That would have been a good place for an oh my.
Oh.
Hey now.
Oh God! I
You have
try
to
to
memorize.
I got to remember these. I don't know where they are.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was big enough to write down what they were in between.
Well, it says right here what they are. It says all
Oh.
the titles, but it's kind of hard to see. So I kind of wing it, you know. Even though there's some that it wouldn't be appropriate. Like if I did the Darth Vader one, that would that would make no
any
sense. Yeah, so what's your favorite treatment to give?
Oh, to give?
Yes.
Oh, facials for sure. And that's it. I mean, that's definitely what I geared my audience towards anyway. It's what I enjoy doing the most. Like I said, I really like the science of skin. I like knowing like how and why things work and all of that stuff. So facials are definitely my favorite. Like I don't love waxing, but
That sounds horrible.
It's part of the job.
'Cause I'm
It's
pretty
part of
sure
the
most
job.
of the waxings are in like sensitive zones.
I do a lot of Brazilians. Yeah.
Can you imagine ripping hair off? Oh my God.
What are they even doing here?
I don't even know.
The immigrants.
Well, they better be legal, these Brazilians.
Yeah, do you check?
Otherwise, you could do like an ID or something. Because we had we talked about that in the past too. So these illegals just come in the right way. That's all. Don't
And get
us-
waxed too. When
Well,
while
yeah,
you're here,
well,
you
obviously,
might as well get
might as well
waxed.
get a waxing.
Yeah, but no, it's a desirable service, and that honestly, that is probably my favorite waxing service to give. It's like quick and easy, and
For you.
well, yeah, I mean,
You know, I tried doing a waxing on my neck at one point.
oh yeah, Mom
Yourself?
told me.
I didn't know.
You
Tina did
self-waxed?
it. No,
Yeah,
Tina
Mom
did it,
did
and
it.
it hurt so bad on one strip. I'm like, nope, that's it. We're not doing
You
this
imagine
again.
Steve Carell in the 40-year-old
When you
version?
did like 3 or 4 strips.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
So that was
yeah.
horrible.
That's the thing. It's like
And that was real.
I don't understand how people do that. I
It's
know you
fine.
get used to it at some point.
Insane.
I mean, yeah. Well, like I don't know. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's always too like. Typically, it's like this is expected of women, right? Like, apparently, we can't have underarm hair or hair on our legs or anything.
Do
Unless you're
people wax
French.
under their arms?
I do.
That seems very sensitive.
It's
That doesn't hurt?
not
It
really.
would hurt any more than anywhere else, would it?
Under your arm? That just seems like another spot that would hurt.
It's more sensitive
Like, I
than
would think
like
your back wouldn't be too bad.
It hurt like a.
I know,
son of
but
a
I would
bitch.
think that would be less sensitive in some areas.
yeah, like definitely. I mean, the places in your body that have more nerve endings, it's gonna hurt more. But like, I think I wax my armpits all the time and they're fine.
How long does that last then
that's-
compared to
Shaving.
Shaving.
Yeah, so like waxing, you can get away with like typically 4 to 6 weeks.
wow?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
why.
so then it's worth it.
that's
kind
why I
of,
have
yeah.
the job, right? I'm like, if you,
Do
'cause
people come in for that kind of stuff?
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like so typically like the
So
most
that's like getting a haircut then. Yeah.
You're
yeah.
regular,
So
routine.
like what I like to say is I'm like, if you want to remove your hair, because I don't think anybody should have to, but if you want to remove it, this is a service that I offer, and it's long lasting and in the long run less expensive than going through packs of razors, because you have to shave typically at a minimum like every 3 to 5 days, and that's being very generous. Like most people I know shave every other day, but when you first start waxing, it's like your hair will take like 4 weeks to grow back, but when you keep up with it, it's like
No.
pushed out longer.
This might be a weird question, but
Mm-hmm.
so say you were going to get your underarm waxed
Yep.
and you usually shave it.
Yep.
Do you wait a couple days? Do you want it to be a little longer when you're waxing or shorter better?
We like to say you need at least the length of a grain of rice.
Well, that's what I was saying. You need something for it
Yeah.
to
Or
grab
else won't
onto.
grab onto. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like they're really, because some people would disagree with me, but I don't think there's really like a too long sort of length. There is a too short though. Like if I've had somebody come to me to get a wax and they shaved like the day before, and I'm like,
It's nothing to grab onto.
there's no hair there, so you have to come back in like 3 days. But yeah, you need some. So if you're gonna go get a wax, it has to be at least the length of a grain of rice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, how often should a person get a facial?
That depends on a lot of factors. I would say your most typical is every 4 to 6 weeks. I tell people at the very least seasonally, when the weather changes, it's probably a good time to come in and get a nice deep clean. But it also depends on if you're targeting something specifically. If you're targeting something and you want this thing to be
problem.
corrected, you have to come in regularly to achieve that. And at-home care. You have to have at-home care too.
That's probably the hardest thing to get people to do.
Yep. So like
Case in point.
no, exactly. Right. He'll complain to me about like his bags under his eyes and whatever. And I'm like, well, are you using the eye cream that I gave you? No. Okay. Well, like I can't
tried
do
the
anything
H?
about that then.
Huh?
Do you try the H?
No.
No,
I do not try the
we're not going to be trying it either. No.
This gives me anxiety.
What?
Just because I'm keeping an eye on the timer and making sure it's still going because
'cause it's red.
every single show we have a technical difficulty. Either the phone runs out of memory or I forgot to plug the stupid cord in. So I'm keeping an eye on it so we can keep the flow going.
I wanted to ask you earlier.
Yeah.
Do you get many like first time people? I mean, people come in for the first facial they've ever had.
Yes.
Are they amazed or do they love it?
It's really fun. I love getting first. I had one Saturday who was like, I've only gotten like a little tiny whatever. I don't really know what I'm doing. And after the appointment, she's like, oh my God, like I feel so relaxed and my skin feels so good. And at least for me, once I have somebody come in once, and like knock on wood, they're most likely to come back to me. So a lot of
No, it's plastic.
Oh.
Sorry. This would. That's about. That
Let me
sounds
knock
about,
on
that's,
your
that's
father's
about
head.
right.
yeah,
Try it.
No,
but
it
yeah.
was just a joke.
Oh, okay, that was funny.
Most of my clients are repeat clients.
Well, that
so
just means you're
That's
doing a good
That's
job.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what it's like, and that's the struggle.
And if people only came in once, it would be tough.
That would be a major
Right.
problem.
Yeah, that's not typically what happens. And I really think, well, one, like I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about, which
It
is
does sound like you know
reassuring
what
to
you're
my
doing and know what
clients.
you're talking about. I mean, and I've experienced the facials.
Are you proud?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Feeling pride right
Yeah,
now?
well, there's
Wow.
videos that she has posted of me getting facials.
Two.
For any of you dudes out there, you know, who are, I'm a man's man.
So
Obviously,
if somebody as tough as you
someone as
gets
tough as me
facials-
can get a facial, anyone can get a facial.
Well, everybody has skin, so everybody could.
Well,
benefit.
Art should
Most
definitely get a facial, and he's had 0 facials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows.
I go hard with the washcloth.
He goes hard with the hardcore. with the washcloth. Oh my God. So back to the sun thing. I actually had a question that I didn't get a chance to ask.
Yep.
Are tanning beds better? What?
Well, she just said no.
Tanning bed though. I mean,
Hold
does it
on.
do different kind of
Whoa,
UV
It's still
rays?
ultraviolet light.
Whoa, wait.
It's fake ultraviolet.
Listen, no.
Oh my God.
So, a tanning bed is an esthetician's worst nightmare
Oh my God.
because from the
You've
sun.
never told him this before?
No, I for sure have.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
okay,
obviously.
Yeah.
But no, so like I said, when me as an esthetician, when I'm like, hey, don't stay in the sun because it could cause skin damage, I'm not telling you to stay out of the sunshine. I'm telling you to stay away from the UV rays. When you go into a tanning bed, that is directly getting it is only UV rays. Like this is what causes skin damage. UV
So
rays
there are
are the
no benefits to UV rays?
No, the only thing you're doing is darkening your skin, which she said
which
is
skin
damage anyway.
Like your skin doesn't want to tan.
Did
you not understand this?
But
That's
don't
what
you
we
get
started
vitamin
with.
D from the sunlight?
This is what I'm.
Well, yes, you get that from sunlight,
Listen,
but not from the UV rays.
the most you should be spending unprotected in like outside is 15 minutes. That will give you your dose of vitamin D for the day.
Yeah, and
That's
in
it.
short sleeves.
Yeah,
Like,
anything,
yeah.
even just in long sleeves, like your face exposure. That
Just
is
your face is
enough
enough to get
I
the-
was
for
out
your
there-
whole
I was out
body.
there a lot this weekend.
Right, but
mowing
that's
the
why
lawn.
we reapply sunscreen.
I didn't put any on at all.
I never do. I just burn a couple times, like
know,
I
it's
said,
just-
until
it's-
I got to start.
Well, yeah,
And
like,
you're saying use it every single day as part of your, just the beginning of
Every
taking care of
morning.
your skin.
yep. As long as you're not like, I mean, if you put it on in the morning and most people work inside all day long, whatever, it's fine. If you're going to be particularly sweaty,
But
you
what
might need
about-
to reapply?
You said it only lasts a certain amount of time. So
Yep.
say it's 7 o'clock in the morning. Oh, sorry.
Whoa.
7
You got
o'clock
it
in the
the second
morning.
time?
I do my skin routine.
Yep.
I'm putting that on, and then I'm not going outside
Right.
for the next half hour. So is that doing anything?
Yeah, so it's sun, like that time is for when the sun is directly being exposed onto your skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
So if you put it on 7 in the morning, don't go out till 10 in the
Oh.
morning. You have the half hour
It,
How
like,
protection.
how does it know?
The lifespan does obviously decrease a little, but like that's the sunscreen is telling you in direct sunlight, this is how long.
So it
will
breaks
last.
down in direct
Oh,
sunlight.
so
Is that what you're
that's-
saying?
Yes,
Oh,
like
all right.
full UV rays. So that's why when you're outside, you reapply. That's why when you're at
So
the
if
beach,
I
you
put
reapply.
sunscreen on in the house
Yep.
and I'm not outside at all,
Yep.
it's not really activating and being
Not really.
used?
It's not being worn down the same way it would be if you were outside.
Oh,
That makes
okay.
sense.
Yep. Like my favorite thing to like tell people and for like skin protection is if you look up pictures of truck drivers, and this is a big
I do
study
that all the
was
time,
done.
don't
no,
you?
No, no, no.
Oh, yeah.
I'm saying
yeah.
like
It's like a weekly
I
thing.
think I might have some on here.
this is how I like prove to my clients. A lot
they
of the time, truck drivers don't use
Leathery
sunscreen.
faces.
Only
Arm.
half.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
one
yeah.
arm probably because the
Because-
arm's sticking out the window.
When I
Right.
used to drive a truck just in here locally, this arm I would
Yep.
get a sunburn on it or whatever,
Exactly.
and just on this.
Yep, and that's why I tell you because that's on rainy days, cloudy days, snowy days. Like that UV is still coming through, and you can see what sun damage does through like pictures of truck drivers.
Well, I meant to ask you too. I don't know how much more time we have, but what about sunscreen then? Is there a certain kind or brands or
Oh.
not really any difference? Like a 50 is a 50 or...
For your face, minimum we say 35.
But I mean,
But-
like, so any brands that are better or worse, or is it...
I mean, I like the brand Sunbum for like casual use, like sprays and lotions and stuff. They have a facial mist that
that's
I think
another
is
thing.
really
Are those good?
convenient.
I was just going to ask you, is there a difference between a lotion and a spray?
right,
yes.
because I do
Yeah.
like the sprays.
Sprays are more convenient.
Sprays are convenient, but lotions are better because you're physically applying and there's more coverage. You know how like lotions are white? They have that white cast.
Yeah.
It's because they're typically a physical sunscreen, which means it has zinc in it, and that's what's like blocking the UV.
Zinc.
Yeah.
Is it natural?
It's an element.
Yeah, I
It's
mean-
an element. Of course it's natural.
But the
It's on the
sunscreens
periodic table of elements.
that are like sprays, you know how there's usually not a white cast?
Uh-huh.
Those are chemical sunscreens. So they block off the UV rays differently. And there's not one that's like better than the other, but when you apply like a spray sunscreen, you still have to like rub it.
I was going to say,
into
I do that,
coverage.
but I wasn't sure if you were supposed to
Yeah,
rub it in.
yeah,
there.
because
So you're
you
doing it
have
the right
to-
way and not even realizing.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spray it on, and then I figure you got to kind of spread it out and stuff.
Right, yeah. So like I said, so the physical sunscreens, the ones that are white, that zinc is reflecting the UV rays off of you. The sunscreens that are like clear that you can't see because it's a chemical reaction, it's instead of reflecting the UV rays, it's absorbing and transferring it into heat, and it's kind of like transferring into heat off of your body, and that's how it defends from the UV rays.
That's a lot of information today.
Yeah.
This is
I'm going to have to rewatch this episode.
This is the longest episode we've done in ever, too. Over an hour. That's impressive. That's impressive. Now, if someone, is there anything else anything we didn't ask that you think would be relevant to skincare knowledge? I think we've hit a lot of topics.
Yeah, not really anything like
We can always have her back. This has been a successful interview so
Segment.
far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
It started
gotten
off.
really
It started
good.
off a little rough. I'm not gonna lie.
But we've gotten really good at interviewing.
I think we were like almost. I would say. What'd you say? I don't know. Professional.
Yeah, I think like
Yes.
Rogan-ish.
What's your opinion, Kylie?
It definitely.
Do you
was a
feel
little-
well interviewed?
Yeah, definitely. I think the questions got better
Better.
as we went.
We were feeling it out. If that's what we do on the show,
Yeah.
we don't like to go in all like, oh, I'm doing this and this and this. We see what happens.
Yep.
And judging by our knowledge of skincare, it was a little more difficult until you
Non-existent
started.
knowledge.
It was
Yeah,
zero.
it is hard for us to ask
I
questions.
mean, I
since
know
we have
she
no
tells me
idea.
stuff all the time. I just don't
do.
remember it. And then sometimes I do it, and then sometimes I don't, and most of the time I don't.
Yeah.
So
But that's also, but like that's my main thing too. It's like if you go to an esthetician, we like to say we do like 30% of the work, but you have to put in the other 70% at home.
well,
Like
people
I
don't
can't
like doing that.
I know.
It's tough to get people to do.
Yeah, so that's why I'm very realistic with my clients. I'm like, if you're like, I offer this thing called chemical peels, which is like my most intense treatment, but it's basically the
Is
best.
that taking a layer of skin off or something?
It's so like I apply this acid. It's a very very strong acid. You cannot get it at a consumer, or you should
wait,
not get it at a
did
consumer
I have this
level.
done?
No,
Oh,
you had a mini version for your eye
I
peels,
did have an eye peel.
but
You peeled your eye?
Tja, obviously.
so I basically put this acid on your skin, and then over the next 14 days, it'll sink down to your basal layer of cells. That's your bottom layer of cells where the skin cells start to produce. And it basically is like, hey guys, let's make way more faster. So you're producing skin cells way, way quicker than you normally would, and you're shedding them off a lot quicker too. That's really good for treating things like hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, fine lines, like the harder stuff. But because it's more intensive, you have to be more careful. There's more aftercare.
Oh boy.
So
That's
I've
probably
had-
why you didn't do it on me.
Yes,
know
exactly.
I would fail
Because
miserably.
that's something like your skin is going to be more sensitized because of that. You will be more susceptible to those UV rays. So if you come in as a client, you're like, hey, I want a chem peel, but I'm not going to wear sunscreen, I'm not going to give you the chem peel.
Oh. I mean, you're just looking out for your client.
Yeah, and like it's again like I've had some friends tell me like, oh well, it's your most expensive service, so why don't you just take the money? But that feels very unethical of me, especially because chem peels are serious. Like you can get skin cancer if you have improper care, and obviously that's not worth it.
Art
Yeah,
would
that's
just say,
good.
"Show me the money." If it was his business,
I would not.
I know I wouldn't. I don't even think I could do that. I just
Yeah.
like screwing the government over. That just makes me
That's
happy.
different.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I've also heard of another term I wanted to ask you about.
Okay.
What is dermaplaning?
Dermaplaning. Okay, so you know how we
I
talked
just
about
heard that. I don't know.
exfoliators before?
Uh-huh.
Dermaplaning is a form of exfoliation where I take a actual medical grade scalpel and I'm removing the very top layer of skin physically.
From like a whole face you do or something? How long does that take?
Usually anywhere from 10 to 15
Oh,
minutes.
that's-
at a-
oh.
yeah.
Depending on the size of the face. Like Art's would take like 20 minutes probably because
A
of his,
big face.
his head.
Does it have to go all the way up here?
No.
Oh, you wouldn't?
The 5 head.
Yeah. No, it depends on usually like hair thickness if they've ever had a dermaplane before. Most people that come to me for dermaplanes, even if they've never had it, because people always come in very scared. Usually their first time they're like,
It
well,
sounds a little scary when you're saying
Well,
a
it's
scalpel
like-
and stuff.
they're like, is my hair going to grow back thicker? And I'm like,
That's a
No.
good question we didn't ask.
that's another one.
I've always heard that's a myth. That there
It's a
is
myth.
no.
It's not true. Same with
So-
shaving. Your hair does not grow back in any thicker.
If that were the case, he'd be shaving his head forever
That's what
now.
that's always
you
what I
know?
tell my clients.
That's
I'm like,
true.
well, if your hair grows back thicker, then why don't you do that on your head, or your eyebrows or whatever? But that's not true.
I know this is probably not relevant to your line of work, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Okay.
What about all these creams and lotions that say they will regrow your hair?
Oh,
Does that actually work?
so it does depend. Usually those products, not all of them, but they can work on the thing that you're gonna use them consistently. That's always the key. Like if you're not going to be consistent, nothing is going to work out. But like Rogaine and that sort of stuff,
With minoxidil.
minoxidil, that's the big thing, right? So yes,
You hear
Good
that?
one. That was
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
Thank you very much.
it does stimulate hair growth and it does work. But if you stop using it, it will weaken again and it'll go back to it's something that you need to be on like
So you'd have to
forever.
always use it, or you're just going to go back to the way your
That's
hair
how
was
they get
before
you
started?
too. Like when you start, they're typically assuming you're going to be a lifetime customer because it does work. But I mean, you have to be super duper consistent.
Wouldn't you, this is another stupid question regarding that.
Okay.
Wouldn't you grow hair on the areas that you use to apply it to the area you want it applied to?
I mean, like your
So if,
fingers?
if like your hands, does there have to be hair follicles to grow hair? I'm assuming, obviously.
Yep.
Why would you be
What if
getting
you
it on
rub
the...
that stuff in? I don't know. What if you get a little
with the back
aggressive
of
with
your
it?
hands?
Yeah, sometimes you get aggressive. Ah, rubbing it in or
So-
whatever.
Oh my God.
Yes.
don't know.
But also, like, at least for your hands, you're using them all day long. You're washing them all day long. Your scalp.
We
you
hope.
Put the stove right. Yeah. we hope.
I've seen some people.
Yeah. But if, I mean, you're putting it on your scalp, you're leaving it on, it's staying. But your hands are used and you're touching everything. So it probably wouldn't stay anyway.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like all these questions we got
Yeah,
answered.
good.
Well, back to the previous question. Did we not ask you anything you think is relevant? Is there anything you want to say in addition to what we asked you? I mean, we asked some hard-hitting questions, I think.
Hard-hitting questions.
I want to say
This was kind of an expose.
This is like Dateline, kind of like Dateline almost, where we really got into the depths of skincare
Catch an esthetician.
to catch an esthetician.
Wow.
Wow, that was.
His hands in.
So if someone wants to make an appointment with you or buy a gift card for their wife or some of these dudes, they should be going in themselves and getting something done because, yeah.
Well, like I say, everybody has skin. Every single person. So every single person could use a facial. Like that's not. I'm very against of like it's for girls to like get facials. I think that's stupid. I think you have skin, so you also should like get it properly taken care of. But I on like Instagram or Facebook, I have links directly to my website where you can go in and schedule and book an appointment. I also now finally have a Google page, so you could look up
Oh.
Happy Hippie Aesthetics, and it'll pop up on Google, and you
So-
can click website.
Just like Happy, Hippie, Hippie.
Yep.
How do you spell aesthetics?
EST. Wait.
ESTHETICS.
THETICS.
Yeah.
Aesthetics. That's a tough one to spell.
It is. No, that still gets me. I'm like, because some people also put an A in front of it.
I thought it was spelled with an A too.
It can be either way.
That's odd. So they can get gift cards.
Yep.
They can schedule an appointment through your Google page.
Yep. So everything, I typically would prefer people to schedule an appointment
You know
with
what?
me.
We're going to do a one-time offer on this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to do any new subscribers to our channel. We're going to pay for 10% of their service to your service.
Wow.
We'll have to do a special code.
How are you doing that?
We're going to call it 2 studs. I'll just give Kylie the 10% difference.
Well, I mean, how are you going to...
Well, I know how many subscribers we have.
Okay.
Right now, and I know who subscribed. And I can see maybe if someone
So
new
they have to say
subscribes,
something when they make
have
an
to say
appointment?
something to Kylie. What's a good code? 2 studs?
Yeah, you can do 2
Say
studs.
number 2 though, so people don't just
Yeah.
think they're gonna spell 2 out.
It does.
The number 2 studs and what 10% off any service.
Sure. Yeah, because also when you book with me, before you like hit that confirmation book, there is a little box where you can write a note to me.
Oh, so put a note in the box,
Yeah.
and we'll cover 10% of the costs for a first timer.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty fun, right?
Exciting.
I do have
Groundbreaking.
I just thought of that just now. Wow.
for the month of July, I have a seasonal facial coming out.
Ooh.
It's called Tropical Smoothie.
Oh,
So-
tropical smoothies.
I like
Sounds refreshing.
smoothies.
I like smoothies too.
Yeah, it's a lot of pineapple enzyme-based things, coconut milk exfoliant and stuff. So it's everybody can do it. It's not exclusive to one type of skin or concern. So it'd be a good first like first introduction to a facial if you've never had one.
I got to bring this up, and I know you're going to be mad at me for doing it. I had a brilliant idea for
Oh
Kylie's
my God,
business.
I cannot.
It was called baby facials, where you bring your baby in and you do.
Have a facial?
You don't have to give them like the facials, like just like a moisturizing cream, and then the parent gets to take pictures of their baby with towels wrapped around them. It's more of a photo op, I think, than an actual procedure.
To which
but
I
I
said,
think,
go to a photographer.
well, I think people would love it, but this is now you're in a legit setting. Like when you come to a professional studio like this one, it's way better than someone just interviewing you on the street, obviously, because of the high tech gear.
Sure.
But wouldn't the photographer be the professional
Well, she's
setting for the photograph?
well, she's a photographer too because she's on Insta.
Technically.
Oh, so you're going to take photographs
So
of
she
the
could take
babies?
photos of the babies for the parents. You could do the mother in there smiling with the baby in the towel. Now, Kylie hates this idea.
Yep.
I don't like it either.
The only reason I'm saying this is because I would like public opinion on this idea.
You can
Maybe
say-
I'm crazy.
Yep, for sure.
People think so.
I don't like it.
Well, here's the thing.
You don't have a baby though. You don't
You
know what the
have-
I know, but I
difference
just
is.
don't think it's a great idea.
I think I've
So-
put it out there. The people that I said it to loved the idea.
The big
Do they have
kicker
babies?
Yes.
is that
Thank you.
there is more liability with children, and it's the reason why I have on my website, please don't bring your child to your appointment.
Well, I think that's a little different though,
But like,
because you got a kid
I mean,
running
like,
around a thing while you're trying to do a facial.
But like, let's say that like I would use like the most neutral whatever moisturizer, even a baby lotion. If they have a reaction to that, and since they're so little, it can get serious. Like that's why people and doctors say now like don't physically kiss newborns because it exposes their little tiny baby bodies to like big person germs. It's too much
See,
liability.
I think your idea is stupid. But I think babies should be exposed to germs.
I mean,
So kiss the baby.
no.
Kiss the baby.
Kiss
Not
the
in their
baby.
first couple of months because they can't fend off the big ones. Like they say, give it like
But I think we
a month and
baby
a
them
half.
so much now. That's why we have every kid is allergic to everything
Something.
now.
When we were younger,
When
they
we were
exposed
kids,
us to
we just
everything.
went out in the dirt and we stayed outside
And-
until
and Art
the
used to
street
eat
lights came
dirt.
on. That's what we had for dinner most of the
Yeah.
time.
There's
Dirt
also
dinner.
We were
two,
dirt poor.
Good one.
There's 2 times like the amount of kids now than there were when you guys were.
And they're weaker,
Kids.
all of them.
But not all of them. It's just like the statistics have changed.
What generation is this now?
We're in Gen Alpha is the one underneath me.
Oh my God.
I'm Gen Z.
Obviously.
Just on the cusp of Gen Z. I was born in 2002.
Art would be a boomer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I
He's
guess he
super
would
old.
be.
We're old.
Okay.
There was a long time for baby boomers.
Oh, well, I'm in the greatest. Well, there's a greatest generation, but
You're
they're
not
mostly
the
dead.
greatest
No,
generation was like our parent, my
No, but I'm
parents.
saying, not the title of, but the actual greatest generation is Gen X. Period.
Why?
Sorry. Just because we're the toughest, the smartest, the most witty.
You're saying you're tougher than
I'm
the
saying-
greatest generation
Well, they're all
that
dead
fought
now.
World
They're dead.
War One and Two.
Gone. Of the current generations that are currently on the planet, best one.
Oh, you're the greatest generation left.
Yes. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
We don't care about things.
That's a problem.
That could be seen as a negative,
Yeah.
not caring about
Well,
things.
that maybe, or it makes you tougher. See how this is how we get off on tangents.
Yeah.
We went from what did we go from the Pope to hot sauce one time. Remember that was a weird
He likes
conversation.
hot sauce.
The Pope?
He's from Chicago.
Oh, that's true. So how would you rate our interviewing skills? Is this thing still going?
That great. Yeah,
Yes.
the clock's still
Wow,
ticking.
that's good.
I would say, like, out of 10,
Mm-hmm.
like a 7.
How about for a first time interview?
How would you rate your experience from 1 to 10?
Oh, how would
Is it
your
fun? Are you
experience
having a good
on
time?
the show?
Oh, yeah. No, it was fun. I like doing interviews anyway.
Good.
So, yeah. 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Wow.
10 out
Or
of
like
10.
my, yeah. hmm I
Yeah.
think it
Because
could've
you were so
flowed.
good. You were such
Oh,
a
yeah.
good interview.
I'm so knowledgeable and know my craft very well.
I'll give you credit, and you do know your craft very well. and
It's
you're
better
very
than
good at what
nurses
you
who
do.
don't know body parts.
Oh God, she's probably watching this too. Oh boy, that is true. But now we can parlay this into future interviews, and maybe we'll have you back on sometime.
Sure.
I know we're going to be doing a what Al want to do, like a hot dog review of the new hot dog restaurant that
Allie?
opened. What is
Oh,
it? No,
My-
Hot
no,
dog
no,
Alley.
no.
Oh.
Al, the guy who owns Ravenswood Comics.
Oh, I see.
What's the new hot dog place called?
The hot dog house, I
The
think.
Hot
it's
Dog
called.
House. They do locally made hot dogs, and we're going to do an on-location review at the comic book store. So this is
Food
gonna be,
reviews do very well online.
well, I think that's our problem. Is we got to find. I don't know if we should do a niche or just keep it all encompassing.
I think, well, that's the thing. If you find a niche, it'll be a lot easier to get more people if that's what you're looking for.
Well, I don't know if I would enjoy that as much.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have to do what you want to do. That's how I go with my social stuff as well. Like in the beginning, I definitely was hopping on very trendy audios. I was trying to make sure, like I studied algorithms and stuff, so I know how that works.
Wow.
But like in the beginning, you kind of, or at least you tailor towards people that could maybe be interested in your kind of content. But now that I've gotten enough followers, I do more like passion projects, I call them.
This is whole thing is a passion project.
Right.
Because we're bored. What's that?
That's one of their hot
Utica
dogs.
Dog House. That looks good. Look at that hot dog, Kylie.
Well,
That's a good looking hot dog.
I'm not a hot dog person, not really.
I love hot
You
dogs.
could be.
I guess I could be. I actually really want to try have you ever seen Korean corn dogs?
You're making this
No.
up.
No, like they're actually the new Mitsuba ramen in Consumer Square, where I am conveniently located.
In Consumer Square.
They have these Korean corn dogs, and they're like your regular corn dog, but they have like mozzarella in them.
You could
and
have your father buy you lunch sometime.
oh my god, that'd be so great! What are you doing today?
Yeah, it's lunchtime right now.
Well, I got a lot going on
I'm
today.
hungry.
I'm
I
getting
gotta
a little,
edit this video.
I'm a little peckish also.
Yeah, we could go get lunch.
I would use a different peck word when describing you. We're gonna keep that one to myself though.
Okay.
But yeah, we can check that out, and I love this idea of the coupon too. This is fantastic. But you got to subscribe to our channel. We're way up there now. We're in like the 30s, the low 30s.
Are we in the 30s?
Yeah.
You also need to follow me on Instagram.
We don't follow you on Instagram.
Not Day.
Oh, all 30 people that watch probably do follow you on Instagram.
Good.
It's unbelievable.
But if you want the deal, you have to follow both of us.
Yes, that's a good point.
Okay.
Subscribe to this. Follow Kylie on Instagram.
And when you book an appointment, you will have the option to leave me a note before you confirm your booking. Just put 2 studs, and I'll know what that means.
2 studs and 10% off.
Yep.
Boom. Oh, that's pretty good.
Boom.
Pretty good. Anything else? Anybody got anything else?
No.
Is there anything else you want to talk about? Not skincare related?
This is a long episode. Where are we at? 120?
An hour and 20 minutes. My butt actually hurts from sitting here for so
It's
long.
really funny.
Well, we'll talk about how much I've been sitting on buses and cruise ships.
Airplanes.
And airplanes was the worst part. They don't design airplanes for larger, more masculine people.
No, yeah, they don't even design them for. This is something you could talk to Colin about.
About airplane. He is
He
an
tall?
aerospace engineer.
My boyfriend is an aerospace engineer. This
So we
would
can
probably
maybe try to figure out something with the seats.
you can maybe have him on for like a little segment.
Oh, would he do this, you think?
Yeah.
That's because we're getting big, aren't we? He wants the ground floor action.
Well, we did coach him.
We did coach him. That's true back in the day.
He owes you.
Yeah. Well,
He owes his girl.
From like 6 years old.
there's
Chipmunk.
a chipmunk in the garage. Oh my God, this house is full of animals. All right, well, I guess that's going to do it for this interview. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I know this is way different from what we usually do.
Thank you, Kylie.
Thanks for coming in. We appreciate you being the first interview ever.
Did you ever find the applause button?
Stand by.
I also was an easy interviewee.
You were very good.
You think so?
Yeah, you.
You're my dad, so
I think
feel like-
you kind of gave us a hard time a little initially, I think.
With the school story.
Well, no, just not having prepared any question.
Yeah, I feel like it may have flowed better. 'Cause you can have like general topics, so you just kind of jump from topic to
See,
topic.
when I think about a thing, I have ideas, and then when we're doing it, I forget them.
That's why you should
That's why
write
you
them
write
down.
them down.
But then it feels like it's like not natural.
Just not bad to have a few notes for yourself to
I like to just
get yourself back on track.
Like shoot off the hip.
Yeah, but then you can
Like that.
like you're bouncing back and forth too. Like, oh, that thing that we were talking about 10 minutes ago. Let me get back to that.
Yeah, we did that quite a bit.
We do that in every episode.
Right. So maybe some structure would be nice.
I don't like Kylie's attitude already now.
I like it.
This thing is going downhill quick. On that note, we're going to get out of here. Stand by.
Wow.
We did it, everybody. We got through it. And we're going to be recording some episodes later in the week. We'll try to get this out today or tomorrow.
Okay. Well, they don't know. They're not going to know till they see it.
That's true. Son of a bitch. That's very true. All right. Well, we'll see you guys on a future cast, as we like to call it.
Wow.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching Two Studs and a Dud. Please like, subscribe, and share this video.